Welcome back to my YouTube channel, and for today's video we have story time number 2, playing some Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and hop right into it, you guys. Okay, listen, so the only reason this story time is happening right now is because me and my friend got bored one day, and one of the places was this abandoned mansion. So we decided to go and check it out, and what we saw was absolutely insane. So where I live, there's the beach, and then there's all these houses surrounding that area. And at the time, this was a huge abandoned mansion, and it had been abandoned for quite some time. Like, nobody lived there. People actually used to throw ragers in that mansion because it still had electricity at the time. And me and my friend, we pulled up to the mansion, and at this time it was like 9 p.m. so it was actually pretty dark outside. And when you walk up, the first thing you have to walk through is this hidden passage of death. And so at the time, we thought this house had like security cameras, tripwire mines, all this security involved with the house, but it turns out it actually didn't. So what my friend and I did to avoid this passage of death, we went around into the woods and kind of walked like parallel to the passage of death. And then once we felt comfortable, we actually got out of the woods, started walking down the path to the house. Now, it's this absolute grand path, and then once you end up at the house, there's this huge garage, huge waiting area, and there's a huge gate to actually get inside of the house. So at the front, you have the guest house, and then you have the main house in the back. And so one of the doors was actually punched into the guest house, which is like on the right side of the premises. And so that's what me and my friend decided to explore first. And like I said, it's pretty late at night, so we're both like freaking out. And we've never done something like this before. I've never actually explored an abandoned mansion before. So we ultimately go inside of the guest house. Now when you walk in and there's the stairs to your left going down and there's stairs to your right going up. There's nothing in front of you, it's just a straight wall. So we decide to go upstairs first, and there's shattered glass everywhere. There's like a couple of rodents, there's dirt everywhere. So we end up walking upstairs, and there's a whole bunch of graffiti everywhere. And honestly, I thought that there was going to be a squatter or something in this house because I was scared out of my mind. So the upstairs of the guest house ended up having a couple of bathrooms in it. Like I said, there's broken glass everywhere. I actually did a photo shoot at this exact mansion, fun fact. So exploring the upstairs of the guest house was just fine. That wasn't the problem. It was going downstairs that had me freaking out. Apart from the floorboards creaking, and it's just a really creepy aura of the house. And this is just the guest house. This isn't even the main house yet. So we get down there to the downstairs of the guest house, and basically all it is a kitchen and some other appliances. And then I smelled this weird smell coming from like the adjacent part of the cabinet. And I swear to God, I thought I was going to find a dead body or something lying there on the ground. Turns out I turned the corner and there's absolutely nothing there. It was just this remnants of cigarettes or something like that sitting on the ground. So the guest house wasn't all that bad. Now, after this, me and my buddy had actually left the house because we were too scared to actually go inside of the main house. And I actually filmed some of us going into the guest house. So here's that footage for you guys now. This is insane, bro. Who's this? And then a couple days later, we rounded up some of our other friends and we actually make our quest to go inside of the main house. So what we had to do first was, when you finish walking down the passage of death, you have to actually go around the house to get inside of the main one. So we go around the house, and for the longest time, we could not figure out how to actually get inside of the house. My buddy's plan was to bring a crowbar and bust open the door, which was a stupid idea. And I actually had the theory of going around back and seeing what was back there, and turns out I was right. Somebody else had already busted in a entrance through the glass window, and that's how we were able to get in. And like I said, I thought I was going to find squatters living in this house because I was so scared out of my mind and I had no idea what to do. Anyway, the main house was really big. When you walk in, so the area where you walk in at is a big kitchen, like dining area, and then you can go out and explore like the living room, the bedrooms. So overall, it was a pretty freaky experience. And unfortunately, now the house today is torn down. They torn down the house because they had a bunch of like problems with us kids getting into the house and trying to explore it. Like, so when I first discovered this abandoned house, there's like a little rope in front of the house saying just like don't enter or whatever. And then a couple months later, they put up a steel iron gate that said don't enter because they had all these problems with kids like us trying to explore the house, like I said earlier. So in one of the rooms of the house, it's this huge mirror area, and I cannot tell you how much I was freaking out that I was gonna like see something pop out of the mirror or something like that, or someone come behind us and try to scare or attack us. Now the upstairs portion of the main house wasn't all to talk about, really, just because it's just a bunch of rooms and whatnot. Now the downstairs area of the house is where it's kind of fun. So you walk downstairs and there's a bunch of like devil signs everywhere and a bunch of stars, and my buddies and I are walking down there thinking like, what the heck did we just get ourselves into? And so when you walk down, the first thing you're gonna find is the wine cellar, and it's actually pretty cool. There's a bunch of like old wine still sitting there from like wherever back when. And you walk out of that hallway, and then there's another passage of death, but it's just like a long skinny corridor, and there's a bunch of rooms on the left and right. And my buddies and I thought we were gonna get attacked. Someone's gonna pop out of us. We're gonna hear some snoring, maybe some animals or some rodents. Like, it's literally pitch black. Like, at least in the main parts of the house, in the guest house, there was some light that could get inside. No, this part was pitch black. You cannot see whatsoever. So overall, it was a pretty exhilarating experience. I'm not gonna lie. It's my first time ever doing something like that. And like I said, unfortunately, the house is now torn down. Like I said, guys, the house is actually torn down. I'm not sure what they're doing in that spot. I think they're building a brand new house for some new owners. But I'm very glad I got to experience this abandoned mansion before it got taken down. And what's funny is my friend and I actually popularized it. We actually put it on our Snapchats or Instagrams. Like, one time we pulled up and there were other people there and they knew us. They're like, yeah, we saw your Snapchat and we want to come check it out, blah, blah. Somehow they found out the address of the house. I'm not sure how that happened. But anyway, you guys, this will be today's video. Hope you enjoy this little story time number 2. And you guys, I'm uploading every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So make sure you look out for new videos on those days. With that being said, hope you all have a great rest of your day and see ya.